went to the top of the stairs, see Coley. You had a jean suit on, like a jean jacket, jeans, and a red bandana around his neck. I was thinking, like, bandanas back then meant something like, it's like a street thing. Like, I was going, Coley's got a bandana. He's playing Premier League football. He's got a bandana on. I said to my friend, do you know what I've just seen Coley wearing? Like,
I would have lost my mind. I would have lost my mind.
Start the show. Coley's he's made his way down there, so I appreciate it. This guy's gassed. I'm gassed.
He knows already, man. Like, when I see him, sometimes I say, you don't understand. Even as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. Why did you leave us?
Yeah, why did you? First of all, that would have been nice if you had stayed. But you have to understand, growing up, it's the same feeling that, to be honest with you, that I would get with Rio as well, and some of the other guys like Righty and Thierry. Like, you see yourself in people, you know, in the playground, doing doubles. You know, me and my mate, today you're Yorkie, today you're Coley, today, like, we were doing that for fun on concrete. So every time I see you, I'll be honest with you, every time I see you, he's probably like taken back because I'm too excited sometimes. Like, Andy, how's it going? He'll be like, you good, yeah?
Calm it down, slow it down.
You good, yeah? Like, he's giving me awards. I'm like, go! Handshake, yeah? And like, so, and just to have you here, me and Rio say it all the time, we sometimes don't think you get the credit you deserve. The stats are there, Rio.
Now let me just intro.
Let them know, guys, the stats.
This is an episode of Represents, guys, and we're going to do it properly.
Yes.
This guy needs the flowers, man. I got Joel Bear, but that's enough said about him in his team today. It's all about Coley. But you know, before we start, I think we just need to make it clear to some of the younger listeners and viewers, the audience in general, that, like, who's here at the table. Like, 187 Premier League goals, fourth on the all-time list. Ooh. And that's without ever taking a penalty.
No penalties.
No penalties.
None.
Didn't take them.
Not one.
For comparison, if Shearer scored 56 penalties, Shearer. Yeah. Right? And that's 200 out of his 260. So that gives you context as how many he could have had.
Yeah. 5
Premier League titles. Ooh. 2 FA Cups, a Champions League. First Premier League season, check this, scored 34 goals in 40 games. Now, if you do that today, that's like Haaland. You're on a different stratosphere.
That's crazy.
20-something years, 26 years or something.
28 years, by the way. And on top of that, people talking about value of players. If Haaland has got all these mad 10-year contracts and he's worth whatever he's worth, how much would Andy Cole be worth today? With
300 grand a week starters.
Yeah.
Without the goal bonus. Forget what the transfer fee is. That's the without goal bonuses, 300 grand a week.
What was that? What about transfer itself? 180, 190? How much is he worth?
Mid-hundreds.
Mid-hundreds.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I'll settle for 6 million, man.
Yeah.
What, net?
Yeah. Moving,
man. Before we get into Coley, I think, listen, we should talk about, obviously, the game this week in Man United gone out the FA Cup.
Hold on. It's hard for me. You can call him Coley. I don't know him like that.
Andrew,
Can I call him Andrew, yeah? We got to make sure we get this right. No, because I was raised well. You can't, you know? Yeah. Cool. But let's go.
No. The result killed me. My brother's on Dance on the Ice, so it brought the night up after that, right?
Yeah.
You won. You got my shout out, Anton.
Come on, Anton.
The final of Dance on the Ice.
Yes, Anton.
Make sure you vote next week, guys.
Yeah.
TV. Make sure you vote.
Every week.
Yeah. But before that, I was on the floor, man. United getting beat. What are you like when are you like a United fan still? Or?
Yeah, man. It hurts, bro. It hurts. I think it hurts a lot due to the fact that you want them to do well. I'm saying win the cup last season, you'd have thought, it's a great opportunity for them as well to got to the cup final, won that, and then you're back in Europe again. You know, so when they lose, man, it kind of like it does spoil the weekend. I can't lie still.
I think we should get into it as well, because you're an attacking player as well. I talk a lot from the perspective of being a defender because I played at the back. And I think it's easier to see problems in a team defensively because it's there for you to see. But this side can't create chances, can't score goals. I think only 5 sides have scored fewer goals than Man United in the Premier League this season.
Look at these teams. Some of these teams have come up.
Southampton, all the teams that are promoted, and like Leicester.
West Ham and
it's a joke. What do you see as the problems from an attacking mindset as being a problem for this team?
If I look at it as a centre forward, I mean, you always want to get yourself in a position to score goals. Of course you do, but. And I think if you look at the way we used to play, I mean, the ball used to go in wide areas very quickly, you know, or you got centre midfield players first looking to go forward. But I think that the manager always used to implement that, though. I mean, always used to say, look, get it into your forwards, or get it in wide areas, and then just get the ball in the box, let the 2 centre forwards do what they're doing. I think I was very fortunate because if you're playing with players that are good players and you're playing with players that obviously you can learn off and gain experience of, you start to learn very, very quickly the way Manchester United play. So that was back then. And if you look at the way we play now, everything, of course, you play a totally different way now. But majority of the teams, everyone plays with this very patient play from the back, and it's got to go wide and come back. I mean, it's tough. As a centre forward, I look at it from my point of view. I'm not going to sit and try to talk about anyone else's point of view. If I'm saying myself, if I'm playing now, I'm like, oh, yo, man, this is hard,
Why? Because the ball just is a lot of sideways, a lot of like probing rather than being direct and coming to you.
Yeah.
But you being you though, I would imagine that you would have gone like we spoke to Berbatov on a previous show, and he said I would be going crazy at the players who I know can play. Get it forward. I mean, look, there's plenty of ways to get the ball forward. But if you're a centre forward, you turn around and say to yourself, okay, then how am I going to score goals? If you can get into me quicker, we've got more chance of causing problems. Now, the more we obviously keep the ball, the more time they've got to like get their 2 banks of 4, whatever, maybe drop behind the ball. Just like a lot of teams used to do when it's at Old Trafford. But the intensity we used to play with, that's what used to cause them a lot of problems as well.
When you look at some of the strikers, what kind of if you was to give a few tips from what you could see, what do you think they could do better in this scenario where United are not doing that well?
I think I'm at that age now. I'm an even better player now because I don't play anymore. It's one of those ones. I mean, but I look at Holland there and I say to myself, if I was to try and give him any kind of advice, just do what you do naturally. I mean, I think sometimes I've watched him so many times, and for me, he gets a little bit obsessed with fighting the centre half. And because the game's not played like that anymore, you don't need to. I mean, when the ball comes into you, just relax. I mean, if you can play on 2 touch, you play on 2 touch. At most 3 touch, you get all of it, set yourself, lay it off and move again. I mean, the intensity of fighting with the centre half, that takes out so much energy, man. I mean, you're tired after that. So imagine you're getting the ball and you're fighting, you're tussling and whatever, then you finally get it under control, and then you lay it off. You're saying to yourself, you don't need to. That would be my advice if I'm going to try and give anyone any advice. Just be natural, man. Just try to be free.
But the difference is, though, I think you look at his data. I think it's another match without a goal. But I think it follows on from the data that we spoke about last week. And you look at the amount of chances he's getting. I think he's getting similar chances, touches in the box as someone like Mateta or Chris Wood.
That's mad.
But they're in terms of like shooting, they're double the numbers that he's getting. They're shooting twice a game minimum.
Do you know why?
Why?
Look at their confidence. I mean, because however you look at it, when you play football and you pick your power and your confidence is sky high, you do things 1 touch, 2 touch, or whatever.
Naturally. Right.
When you start thinking, and I'm talking from my experience here, you get in the box, you think, right, if I take a touch here, if it's not perfect, let me take 1 more touch and then I can do it. By the time you take that 1 more touch,
it's gone.
It's gone. I'm saying, I look at him, he works so hard. I mean, I look at him come off at half time or something like that. The man is drenched in sweat. He works so hard. But sometimes I look at him and say to myself, the areas you're working, you don't have to work in those areas. Run in the box as fast as you can. Yeah, and you might get a lucky one, and you start to breed your confidence from there. There's so many things that he's so willing to do because he tries so hard.
So you're the number 9 in your time, from your experience. What are you telling him now if you're in the building with your experience?
Basics.
To get him back into that confidence.
Basics. Go back to basics, man. Like I said, I can talk from experience. I can talk about my time being at Manchester United. You're going for a goal drought, and then.
Yeah, how did you deal with that?
Me, it was mad. It was mad because I was getting so frustrated because ultimately you're always going to get frustrated because you've gone there to score goals. You're not scoring as many goals as you'd like to. You're going to get frustrated. But I remember the work I was doing after training, bag of balls. Me and Kiddo, 20 minutes, half an hour after training. I mean, every single day, just doing it. Basics.
Oh, but the problem is, nowadays, the sports analyst guys, the S&C guys, they cut that out. No, can't do it.
Too much.
Save your legs,
game
keep
tomorrow.
your legs.
For me, that's just my mindset. I'm like, this is what I have to do. I have to do this to get myself back to where I want to be at. I remember Sir Bobby when he was alive. He used to come in the dressing room, You know, and he used to say to me, Coley, you get yourself in a position to smash it as hard as you can. Seriously. And I'm sitting there, I'm saying, yo, you know, if Sir Bobby can say that to me, that's all I'm going to do from now on. Get in there and smash it. And then that's what I used to do, just get in there, smash it as hard as I could, to start going in, and you start saying, oh, I can start caressing a few now because my confidence is coming back.
Taking liberties, a little bit, chances.
I mean, you go for the little dinks and all those kind of things. But you can only do those things, me personally, when your confidence is thriving. And once you've got that confidence, you know, there's things that you don't even think about anymore because those are natural things that got you in that position in the first place.
I do, that makes sense when you look at the way he's playing right now, because the amount of times I've seen him get in the box and all of a sudden he ends up coming out of the box and playing it wide.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, you look, he's had 16 shots this season. 16 shots this season. But according to the stat man behind the scenes, Andy Cole had 78 shots in the season at Newcastle when he scored 34 goals.
That's
for
like
Newcastle.
1 in 1.1/1 point. That is crazy.
That's like you're having 2 a game. Every
That's-
game, 2 shots a game. That's mad.
That is insane.
People, if you put it like that, though,
Well,
people
no
I think
point.
would expect you to have more shots than that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, because especially if you're playing a very creative team as well.
Every time you shoot 2 shots, you're scoring a goal there.
Oh, yeah.
That's mad. That is insane. And the stats aren't like as crazy and out there as they are today. You know, like everything today is all based on it. But, you know, bringing it back, for example, we've spoken about Højlund, but we saw that Chido Obi, he came on the 67th
you see
minute,
it?
which is
Yeah.
which is earlier than usual. To see a player, right, come on at that age, 17 years old, by the way, he's in the first team where Man United are. Like, we're not saying he had a worldie, but how good was it to see a striker, you know,
Just quickly, for me, you know what it was for me?
go on.
It was because Højlund's been so off it,
Yeah.
so bad recently. When you see this kid come on and do one little thing, you just like everyone got going, oh my god.
Yeah.
And for a kid that young, it was just refreshing to see. And you know, it's like
shooting.
the fans.
Of course. What you see, what you got to put into context here as well, yeah? Was he 17?
Yeah.
Where's your fear? He ain't got no fear.
Højlund's fearful now, isn't it, on the pitch?
That's what I'm saying. If I'm 17, yeah, and the manager brings me on 68 minutes or whatever, I'm turning around and saying to myself, I've got nothing to fear. I run into a couple of defenders, I try running behind, try be direct, and if you look at him, that's what he was.
Yeah.
I mean, when he got in and he come on his right foot, he tried to put it in the left-hand corner, and the keeper saves it, yeah. If you reverse that, yeah, and you're in youth team football, the level he's playing at, I bet he doesn't even try and do that.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
I could show you enough goals he scored. He does exactly what he just said. This is what I'm saying. Number 9s think different to us.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
He wouldn't have done
That's
that.
true.
I mean, but he's in that position. I bet he's saying himself, right, I've got to be precise and whatever. But when you're raw, you're 17, you have no fear. I mean, I looked at him yesterday and
What did you think?
he's definitely got a chance. He's got a chance, you know. My nephew worked with him and I spoke to my nephew about him and he said, Unks, yeah, man, he's got a chance.
He's still rough around the edges. Like he's
You
not nothing,
expect to be, yeah.
and he should be that.
Yeah.
But what I don't have any fear about is that he will get chances. Because
Yes.
I watched him play against my 2 boys, and the guys, the way he played yesterday is exactly the same. He's not in the game. The ball falls, he's there.
Really quickly, I want to say for the young people watching, if you tell most of the young people that you've had a few appearances for Man United and you're 17, most young people in today's football think they've made it.
No.
But you two, multiple Premier Leagues,
Coley
Champions
turned up.
Leagues, you've just said he's got a chance. Do you know how mad that is?
Got a chance.
Despite of what he's earning, despite of everything, it's important for everybody to know, even if you've made appearances at United, you ain't made it
Yeah,
yet.
crazy. Look, I only made it when I retired.
Wow.
That was my thought process. You know, I mean, when I retired and you look back a little bit into it, I said, yo, I did all right.
Did all right.
You know what I'm saying? One of those
What,
ones.
5 Prems?
Yeah, I did all right. You could have been 7, but you know what I mean? I think ultimately you talk about the ones that you didn't win more than the ones you won. I'm saying, so yeah.
They're the ones when you're on the beach.
Yeah.
You're kicking back, having an unbelievable day, yeah, and you put the drink down and you go, yeah, and then all of a sudden, we fucking lost that one, man. How did we lose that one? It just ruins the day, like for that moment.
You talk about Barcelona a lot.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even thinking about that right now. So why are you talking?
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, we've been here. You talk about Barca. I mean,
Yeah.
I look at when we should have beat Dortmund. You know, we lost 1-0, and to this day it hurts due to the fact that we was more than capable of winning the Champions League that season. I mean, then we lose to Arsenal and they come Old Trafford, they beat us 1-0, they're going to run. There's many titles I'm sitting there saying to myself, yo, man's still vexed about now, you know.
That's ridiculous.
Just to go back to Cheeto, go on. What would be your advice for a 17-year-old kid like Cheeto, just signed for Man United, just getting some airtime, people are talking about him like us even here. What's your advice for a kid
Head
like that?
down, man. Head down, nose clean, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I always try and say that to the younger generation now, just keep your head down, keep working hard. I think it's tough for me because the way I viewed myself when I was younger, I'm totally different, you know. And I see these young guys getting in the team now, playing well, and I just say, just work hard, man. Work as hard as you can do. Just keep your head down, man. Keep striving to be the best you can be. I mean, as we all know, there's always pitfalls in professional football. I mean, but if you keep walking straight and doing the right things, man, you'll be okay.
Are you worried that there's no one of experience there? Like I watched yesterday, Danny Welbeck scored for Brighton, and I always say that I wish he was still at Man United. I don't think he should have ever. I said like years ago, how is he not still at the club? Like someone like that of that elite level that could bring through and help bring the younger generation.
Yeah, I do, because if I sit here now and obviously think about my career when I'm younger, so being at Arsenal when I was a kid, obviously there was Alan Smith there, there's Paul Merson, younger, obviously Wright, he came later on, it was Kevin Campbell, then I moved, I went to Newcastle, I played with Peter Beardsley. I mean, exactly, with great experience that I'm learning off. I mean, when I played with Peter at Newcastle, and he said to me one day we played, he said, "Oh, Coley, just stand still." I'm like, what are you on about, just stand still? Because when you're young, everyone tells you, oh, keep moving, got to be on the move. Peter said to me, "Oh, Coley, just stand still, you get loads of space." I'm like, Peter, man, what are you talking about? Just do it. Stood there in the space I was getting, but I'd never been told that before. So straight away I'm getting experienced by an individual saying to me, just stand still.
How old was you then?
You know, so I was then, I went to Newcastle when I was 22-ish, didn't I?
Imagine finding out something that's such a big thing in the game at 22. That's nuts, isn't it, really?
I mean, 22, 23. So I did that, and then I moved to Manchester United. I'm playing with Sparky, I'm playing with Eric, you know. And
some players, man.
So exactly. So if I can't learn off those guys to get myself in a position to move myself forward, you know, I'm really shouldn't at that level. So when we talk about the boys that are playing now, I do feel it for them, because ultimately, when you're at such a big club, you want to be able to learn off someone who's been there before. I mean, you want to draw off their experience. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I was always tapping into the senior pros, like, oh, yo, what can I try and do here? What can I try and do there?
Would you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because like when I was at Arsenal, a lot of them used to like pull me and sit me down and say, "Oh, Coley, X, Y, Z about training or whatever." I started to say, yeah, but what about blah, 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 or whatever it may be. So I was always trying to tap into their head to see what it takes to get to that level. Yeah, there's always going to be ups and downs, but if you can try and tap into their heads, especially if they want to give you their time as well, you know, for me, I think that's massive. You know?
I think that's what Hoyland needs. Hoyland and Cheeto, they need these two young number 9s. They need to see someone. That's why I think Rude was good to be there. He probably had such a big influence on Hoyland. Yeah, he would have had an impact, I think, over time, because he's a striker. They know, they understand what they're going through in them big moments. Because I think strikers are very different to anyone else on the pitch, because emotion plays a massive part, and feeling plays a massive part in output. Like, if I'm not feeling great, I could probably get through it. If we keep a clean sheet, I build confidence off a clean sheet, and I might not have any real impact on that clean sheet, but I'm just there and I'm feeling good and I'm feeding off it. Whereas you lot, you could be playing really well, but you've gone 6 games without a goal. Confidence on the floor. Yeah. It's so different, and you need like help and assistance, I think, more than ever.
But that also comes into partnerships though, right? Like if you have the right partnerships, that could help as well up top. So for example, you were known to have great partners throughout the course of your career. How did you manage to build those partnerships?
Yeah, are they natural, or are they just like you go on training pitch and work?
I've been lucky, man. I ain't gonna lie, I've been so lucky. Everyone I've had, you know, obviously playing in the Prem, you know, at Newcastle first, when Kevin brought Peter Beardsley and got rid of Dave Kelly, said, right, I'm gonna bring in a special player just for you next season. Brought Peter in. nothing was worked on because his football intelligence was a joke. Seriously, and I mean a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, when I hear people talk about playing on the half turn now or in between the lines, he was doing that when he was at Liverpool and Everton and all that, but he never gets spoke about.
Yeah, it's mad.
You know, and then never worked on anything. He just used to say, right, Coley, just stay up there. Yeah, and I'll find you. Literally.
Madness.
Yeah, literally, I'll find you. I'm like, nah, come on, man. He said, nah, just stay up there. Kevin used to say, just stay in the box. I went to work 18 yards, that's it, in the box. I was like, nah, yeah, that's cool. Considering when I was a kid at Arsenal, I never used to do that. I used to get on the ball and try create as well as score goals when I was playing. I mean, that partnership worked like that. And then obviously my time at Manchester United with Yorkie, which will always be remembered for that partnership, that was just meant to be at the right time.
Yeah.
It's like the big man sent me a gift and said, look, this is your gift here. Whatever you do with it, you do with it. But you've got this guy now. I helped him as much as possible. And what happened on the football pitch, like I said, that was just meant to be.
Magic.
Were there like, any conversations you had with Yorkie at the beginning? Listen, like, because people ask me this, like I think we're two people that our success is kind of framed around a partnership a lot of the time. Like I'm with Vidic, you're with York. I didn't really have loads of conversations about football with Nemanja. What was it like with you guys?
For me, it was just jokes. Cause I used to look at him, yeah, seriously. I used to look at him, yeah. And I said to myself, why is this brother always smiling, man? We're going to war now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were serious.
Yeah.
Stush.
I'm saying, but we going to war, brother. And I used to look at him. And he used to make me laugh, and I used to run out on the pitch and say to myself, yeah, I'm good. I'm good, you know. He'd be smiling all the time. And the conversation, the maddest thing is, I just about spoke to him on the football pitch.
Was it?
And I mean just about spoke to him. If I didn't like something that was going on, I'd say, Yorkie, come on, man, whatever. Or, come on, let's do this or whatever. And then that was it. We could play mute football.
Right. I couldn't do that.
You know?
Yeah, we could play mute football.
We could play mute football.
Yeah.
See, if a man's playing mute with me, I'm screaming. I'm going mad. So what are you doing? Wake up, man.
But you know me, I was never a big talker on the pitch anyway.
Never spoke.
Yeah,
do you know the maddest thing is that I would see him out and we'd always just go like that.
Yeah.
He used to like treat me like a younger boy. Like he used to make me. You got to stay there.
That's how he treats me now.
You got to stay there. Like I'm Rio Cole, but you're like. That's you know what I used to feel, and like I don't even feel bad about it, but I just think I used to know where I stood here because. And I always think about players today. Is this like it's in today's football or not? I hope it is.
It's
because
not.
I'll go somewhere and I know that the pecking order, Cody's there. I can't even chat to him. He's won leagues. He's at United. I'm at West Ham or Leeds or wherever I was at the time. Yeah. Remember when I used to go to England, and I used to sit there and I used to sit on the table sometimes, or I'll be somewhere. I go to them like, "What's it like at Man United, Andy? Man, what's it like there?" And the way you used to talk about Man United used to scare me a little bit. He used to build it up so much. I just think, is he lying? Like he said, they're young guys here like West Brom and that. They never said the way they crunch everyone in training every day, the energy, that intensity. Bro, England training can't even look at it.
No
I
way.
I think right, England training's hard. Like, how's Man United? I can't go to Man United. I can't go there.
Did you feel like that?
Man United, the intensity training was mad. Yeah.
More than the England training.
Yeah. But it was mad because the mentality of each individual, like, was if you lost a training game, you'll be fixed still. I mean, because what we did in the end, we just like brought out the yellow jersey. Yeah. So once the yellow jersey come out,
the worst player.
What?
End of the training.
Wait, say that again.
The jersey.
Say that again. Sorry.
Yeah, worst player.
Worst player used to give the yellow jersey. So for the next week, they got to wear the yellow jersey.
Who used to get it a lot?
Pally.
Gary Pallister.
Yeah. Pally used to get it a lot.
So you can't do that in today's football, though.
I don't know, HR.
I was going to say your favourite word, HR.
They're bullying me.
See, but the thing about it, we loved it because you knew then, training you had to be on it because no one wanted to wear that jersey at the end of the week. Nobody. And man would get real vexed saying, no, I'm not wearing it. You've been voted, so you got to wear it. So do you imagine you got to wear that for the week? It's like, people are upset.
Wow.
So the intensity in training was always nuts.
So who do you admire in the game today when you watch number 9s? Only number 9s. Forget like the Salahs of this world who are Wideman.
Obviously Haaland for what he does. You know what makes me laugh? Yeah, people say, he doesn't do anything. No, he doesn't. He just does his job.
Literally, yeah.
And that's what it is. You score goals. I mean, I'm not sure if Pep turned around and said to him, "Look, You don't need to get involved. Just get in the right position in the box, and we'll get you the ball. It's a bit like myself when I was at Newcastle. Don't get involved. Just run the box, score goals. He does what he's supposed to do. So what's on the tin, he does it. So that I've got respect for him doing what he does. Isak, I look at him, and I've been asked many questions about him, and I just always say to everyone, if he stays fit, at Newcastle, you're going with the madness, and he's done it.
Same thing.
Because all he had to do was try and stay fit. And I think we all saw his qualities when he first signed there. Saw his qualities when he was in Spain. Come to the Premier League, once you adjust and get things right, he's absolutely quality. I look at those two now and I say to myself, in the Premier League, the most were the two best strikers that the Premier League has had.
Saying that, obviously they're really good players, but sometimes we go through reminiscent stages, and we go, the players you played with though, in your era, insane.
You're talking about, you've named two, but if someone said to you in your time when you were playing, top strikers in the Premier League right now, you could be naming yourself, Dwight York, Fowler, Owen, Shearer, Sheringham, Les Ferdinand, Letitia, Wrighty, Dion Dublin, Stan Collymore.
It was endless.
Like that list there is not. You've named you. Who are you naming after them two? You just named. No disrespect to the strikers now, but we're talking about elite levels.
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
Yeah. Number 9s.
But that's the problem. There isn't any number 9s.
Why is that then? Why is that?
Because
What's different in the game today?
I think everyone from the younger generation, I think, started to be after the generation when I was coming to the end of my career as well. It was like everyone wanted to be a 10. I mean, everyone was obsessed with the 10.
The only player I can think of, really, you got to go down to Jota after that.
My man's a sub, he's a sub.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think off the top of my feet.
Wood's playing well, scoring goals, Mateta, but
I would put Jota above them two, and it's really dry.
And that's why it's tough for a lot of the big teams to try and get that number 9, because everyone wants that number 9. So if one becomes available, that's why the numbers they talk about this individual are mad, because everyone now wants that number 9. And obviously, if you go back to the generation I played, there was so many of them, and there was less number 10s.
So what's not appealing to the younger generation to be a number 9 then?
I don't know, because for me personally, there's nothing better than running in the box and getting a tap in. I say that's just the way I view things. I mean, if I bin one in the top bin or I chip one, it makes no difference to me, because if I get one from 4 yards, a goal's a goal.
What, so a tap in? So if you scored like the one against Spurs, that lob, beautiful goal,
lovely.
Or the Juve one,
just tapping one in.
Bob, I'm sliding in.
You're as happy.
What?
Nah, come on.
Nah, you got to understand. When you're at that and your mindset is a goal is a goal. If I put one in the top bin, how many goals I get?
1.
Right. If I slide in 4, week after week, how many goals I get?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I get you.
I'm saying, it's a great goal he put in the top bin. It's a great goal, he just tapped it in from 2 yards. Everyone still calls it a great goal.
Yeah, it's true.
But so then, saying that, what's your favourite goal then, if you can think of the catalogue of goals you've scored?
You've got to dissect the
Barca.
The step
overhead.
over.
Yeah.
Oh, that was dirty. I would have been all over the shop if that was me. Young Rio, I'd have been I'd have run out of the stadium.
That one for me was because it was so pure and natural. I mean, the way Keno fizzes it in, Yorkie step over, I played a 1-2 with him, he slips it back in, and I roll it in. I mean, it's just
it's
all off the cuff, Do
you know what that does, that goal? That goal just encapsulates a moment in time. Probably arguably the best midfielder in the world, Roy Keane, doing what a lot of people don't give him credit for, which is passing the ball forward. Which he's done unbelievably, isn't it?
Yeah.
Underrated part of Roy Keane's game, isn't it? Then these two just combining the way they did. Just talk about Roy, because obviously he was your captain at the time. We know him, a lot of the younger generation now, just someone on TV as a
brute force.
Just a ruthless guy, and he makes people laugh, etc. Talk about him as a player and a captain.
Man. I'm fortunate as well, because I get on well with him, and we always used to get on well when we were playing together. As a captain, unbelievable leader, and I mean an unbelievable leader. Would do anything, literally anything for his team to win. I mean, sometimes, you know, you see him get sent off because he gets so frustrated and wanting his team to do so well and whatever maybe. As a player, one of the best players I've ever played with. You've already touched on it. He always got the ball, always try to look forward. Always fizzed it in as well. If it ever broke down, it got absolutely ballistic. But that's what I loved.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just elaborate on that a little bit, because that makes me laugh.
Yeah, when he used to wrap it in, if it ever broke down on you, man, he got absolutely mad at you.
So if you ain't got a good touch,
yeah.
You what is it? Is he shouting, or is it the look, or is it the?
He's screaming, man. He's screaming. But for me, that's the G up. That's a G up to say, hey, I know you've got it in you. Yeah, come on.
This is Man United.
Yeah, I mean, need you. I mean, but that was the energy we had. And it was nice to know that someone's going to stay on your stay on your case for 90 minutes. Yeah.
But for someone such as yourself, who you've got pride, you know you are who you are, does that not make you feel some type of way? Sometimes you think, why are you always onto me, man? Like, let me play my game, because that's what you hear a lot of people. Let me focus on my game.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, because you know when you're playing at that level, yeah, you can't have people slap on your back all the time. You got to have people let you know, we need more from you. You know, but that's the G up that you want. Don't ever become comfortable. So just playing with him and what he used to do, like I said, as a leader, as a player, was top draw, man.
If you made a mistake, you knew, like, before the manager, he was the one going to be verbally assaulting you, like. Yeah. And you know, one of his favourite shouts used to be, "This is Man United. This is Man United."
100%.
Like, he used to go like, well, I fucking know, I got to show him. Like, but he was just
there's levels to this.
Yeah, you said first training session, did you play it to the side or something like that?
Yeah, I passed it to Nev and he went nuts. Like, this is Man United, play forward. But this is what I mean. That's a detail that's so undervalued. Like, it doesn't get spoken about enough. Like, when you get it, you can impact the game anywhere on the pitch. By passing it forward.
Yeah.
His ability with the ball was mad. Yeah. People don't realise. They don't get no credit for it.
Great presence.
Really?
And I mean, the presence he had on the football pitch was mad at times. I mean, you'll be out there and you'll be watching him get on the ball, and like people would say, well, if I don't want to go too tight to him, I'll just let him have it. Yeah. And then he'll get it and have a look around, and then he'll decide, right, I'm going to do this or whatever. But just his presence on the football pitch, brilliant.
Just talking about waving his arms and shouting, right? He was Man United captain there, and he's lauded for that. The Man United captain now, Bruno, gets hammered for that. Why do you think the difference is? Why is one allowed to do it and one isn't?
Gens, innit? Different generation, man. Yeah, I think it's different generation. I mean, I think if you look at captains back then, you know, a majority of the captains were very, very vocal. Very vocal, very, I'm saying the HR thing again, very, very abusive. You know, the ways you speak to you. But that's what we was used to, that's what we grew up with. I mean, if you look at Bruno now, and I ain't gonna lie, I love Bruno, man. I like the way he plays. He captures in a totally different way. I'm saying, because you don't see many people waving their arms around in today's game. You know, people look at that and say, oh yeah, what's he waving his arm? The guy is frustrated. He's frustrated. I'm saying, I've never dismissed that, because that was a generation I grew up with, captains waving their arms around at the time and getting abusive and that. It is what it is, man. When you're on that football pitch, yeah, anything goes, you know. As you know, anything goes to make you win a football match. You know, you never take it personal. Never ever take it personal, because no one's trying to be personal with you. You're just trying to win a football match. Now, if I talk to you within those 90 minutes, if I get frustrated, there's going to be things that, I shouldn't have said, but I'm frustrated. Don't take it personal. Come off the football pitch and think, you can't say that to me or whatever. With the heat of the battle, man.
Yeah, it's true.
I said to Rio that I thought, it's all right to get frustrated, but I thought he just looks like he's a little bit moany. Like,
we all moan.
You know.
If he looks moany, I dread to think, well, we look like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I
was so moany.
Yeah.
Like, the lads would get so frustrated. Like, most people moaned.
We all moan. When you're at that level, you all moan. You have to moan, because of course you get frustrated at that time. I mean, Rio used to moan all the time, like he said. I used to say, when I used to play against Rio, man, my man never stopped talking.
Really?
Seriously.
Really?
Seriously, never stopped talking. I'm like, just play the game, man. That's me in my head, like, just play the game.
Like I was mad.
Yeah, I don't talk to no one on the football pitch. I'm saying, just play, bro. Fuck that. Come on,
Maybe I wasn't as well equipped to deal with things. I need to sort stuff out. You know what I mean? You got to remember, I'm playing against Coley and Yorkie or Teddy Sheridan and Ollie.
Wait. For the listeners listening on audio right about now, I just want to remind you that we have 11 Premier League titles on the table. Just want to say that. Keep going.
Not enough, man. Not enough.
Exactly. There should have been more. But just going back to Roy, what they said on the Overlap podcast, Bruno is not a fighter. That's what he said, you know. He's a talented player, but talent is not enough. Bruno is not a fighter. Leadership is action. Leadership to me is about action. Do you agree with that?
Different generations, like I said.
That's what I think.
You know? I mean, the way Roy used to lead back then, if Roy was playing now, he couldn't lead his team the way he used to lead it back then.
Yeah, I think players today might just shut down.
Yes.
With someone like Roy.
Yeah.
Because I see him, the way I see him, you'd have stories as well, but I see Roy, even players that weren't even in the first team, he's almost ended their career before it started with some of the way his tongue was poisonous at times, isn't it? I used to stand there, you have to step back and laugh by yourself and then come out from behind the curtain and go like, oh, come on man, it's a bit out of order. Like. But like, I think we said to, I forget the guy's name, Michael Stewart, young kid, Scottish.
Yeah, Scottish.
Hope.
Yeah,
Remember
Michael,
him?
yeah.
Nice guy, man. Talented footballer. Everyone's saying he's going to be the next one that comes through. And I remember what Roy said to him one day, like, I don't know why his head just went. Yeah, he said, "You know what you're going to be? You're going, you know, in a couple of years, where you're going to be? You're going to be a pub team player. You're going to be playing for a pub team." Like, but real, like, heart, and like the kid, he's looking at Roy Keane, same position, hero probably, and Roy just destroyed him. And I just saw the life drain out of his body. Just to go back to Bruno, would you have liked to play with someone like him? Because in terms of just for about his ability.
Yeah, he's got great ability. He's got great ability. Not just the goals that he scores, because he's scoring every other week, but I think his creativity as well, sees a pass, always wants to get the ball. He's always striving to like pick the right pass or do the right thing. Or like I said, I really do like him. I think if Manchester United didn't have him, especially this season, they'd really struggle without him, because he is their talisman. I would be looking. He is their talisman. He's a super player.
With him in the team, with his passing ability, how do you connect with someone like that? So that's like, I don't know, in your team, it's probably like a Scholes from that central area. What are you saying to somebody like that? I know you don't talk about, if you're Highland, what are you saying? Is there conversations going on? I'm out of form, I need a bit of luck now. Like, look for me first. Like, look forward when you get it. I'm going to run in. Are you saying first 5 minutes, every time you get it, I'm running in behind?
It's just
what are you saying?
It's for me, if I look at it through my eyes, yeah, and I'm saying I'm playing with Scholesy now, yeah. Scholesy knew what I liked. I knew what Scholesy liked, so I could look at Scholesy, yeah, and then like, and then I'm gone. Yeah, you know. So there's no mass communication or anything like that. Once he gets his head out, he looks at me. I know what I want. He knows. Boom, and we do it. And I always used to work on opposites anyway. So the centre half wants to drop off. Okay, I can get it to my feet. You know, but I know centre halves never ever want to run in behind. It was like,
I tell you that all the time.
I don't want to do that.
But how does Paul Scholes know that? Like, as an example, how does he
know?
know?
Because obviously we train together. He knows what my movements are. I know what he's looking for. I mean, I knew every movement that my teammate had. I knew if Giggsy got it on the left, yeah, I could pull off. Yeah, and I know what Giggsy do. He'd try and fade it in like that, or a little clip over the top. With Bex, I knew with Bex, not a problem. He knows what I want. I'll go short and I'll go on the diag for you. And he knows, right, Cole. I know what Coley's going to do. Heads down. I know what Coley's doing. Bang, he's done it. I mean, Scholesy again. You know, I know with Scholesy, I could look at him and be like, yeah. And I could make that little 2-yard run short, and I know I'm going long, and they'll just clip it over the top. So when you're in that position, you already know what you want, you know. And if I wasn't getting it, yeah, I think that was the only time I was vocal. There's any fucking chance. I mean, and that was about it. Is any chance? I mean, am I here just to make the numbers up? You know. So we all knew what. When I look at Hoyland, I look at him and say to myself, if I sat down and had the conversation, or you said with Bruno, or whatever it may be, every time you get here, just have a look. I'll make that run in behind, because that's where you gain confidence. If you keep making that run in behind, and you know the centre half can't live with you say to yourself, yeah, one of them's going to fall for me, by the way. And then you get in there, you hit it first time, you might sclaff it or whatever, it goes in, you start building from there. So you got to build blocks, you know. And so I think the manager made it even easier, because the manager always used to like say, I'll just get it to the forwards, let them get on with it. You know, and if they didn't at half time, the manager used to come and lose the plot, say, just get it to the centre forward, what's wrong with you? You know, that's why what made it easy for us, because we knew straight away they believed in us even more. You know, then we could just get on with our business.
What a quartet, by the way.
What, Scholes?
No, I'm talking about the strikers. Solskjaer, Sheringham, Yorkie.
All different.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The
Totally
best
different.
thing, I think. That's the, and I'm playing against that. That's what I used to throw in my head before. I don't know who's playing. So I can't prepare properly. Because I might sit up and prepare for Coley and York. Yeah. And tomorrow I'm getting Sheringham and Solskjaer.
And all of them can score goals.
And they all can score. And then if them two ain't flying, at 60 minutes, 70 minutes, these two come on. And it's like, what the...
Were you always on your toes? Did you always feel the pressure? Because as good as you were, Solskjaer he had a record once of scoring 4 goals in like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, your job is to score goals. What are you thinking when you got those two?
You're always under pressure. I think when you're at a place like Manchester United, you're always under pressure.
It's good pressure.
Yeah,
you say it all the time.
It's good.
And that's what pushes you on, though. That's what you're supposed to thrive on. When you sign for a club like Manchester United, man, that's what you got to thrive on that, man.
Listen, man, we gave you your flowers at the top of the show, but you only made 15 appearances for England, and I always think about that. And when we talk about strikers, and I always hear the list go up, like. Sometimes I look at it and go, well, how come Coley's name's not getting mentioned so early? Should we get mentioned early? Sometimes even I make that mistake sometimes, and then I realise, no, Coley, whatever. Do you think at times your record, what you achieve sometimes gets overlooked at times? When you
Yeah, of course. But see, I think because I'm at a stage whereby, you know what I mean, just get on with it. Yeah, I'm kind of like,
come on, man. I know there must be times when you sit there and go, oi, what's going on?
Well, when I was younger, yeah, you know what it's like. When I was younger, I'm like, man's not having that. But now I'm not. It doesn't bother me, and I say, I don't go home at night rocking myself to sleep saying, what happened there, what happened? I'm like, that's the way it was meant to be. Now there's some things in life that are meant to go that way, and when it comes to me playing for England, that's the way it was meant to be. It's like politics from day one, and to politics to the day I turn around and say, no, I've done that. I'm done.
At that time when you were flying, when you was winning all the trophies, scoring all the goals, playing for Man United, like saying all those big games, did you look around and go, seriously, number 9's one of the best?
You always got to think like that. You always got to think, I'm up there. Otherwise, why are you doing it?
So, but I think then for me, that leads me to ask then, who were you better than? So if I've got a list of players here, I just need you to say yes or no.
We've done this with Sol the other day.
Yeah. So, and listen, just speak your truth, man. I know you got it.
So you say basically, if he's going to name a player, and you just got to say, yeah, I'm better than him.
If that's the case, I'm better than everybody.
Well,
that is your mindset. But I mean, I think because I've watched quite a few people do this. For me personally, the best number 9.
Oh no. I know, I've seen you say it.
There's no chat.
Yeah, I've seen you say it. He's not on the list, by the way.
He's the best.
No, actually, he is. Kluivert.
Oh, I like Patrick as well.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I like Pat. Pat's a nice guy, man. But like I said, we're gonna sit here. I'm better than him because you got to have that mentality.
That's good. Righty.
Yeah.
You're better than Righty. Fowler.
Oh, I love Robbie. You know.
Is it?
Robbie is the best finisher I've seen.
Is he?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm honest. I've seen Robbie. Yeah. Obviously, I play with him. I see Robbie who's got away with England do some craziness. I'm like, because when you're away with England, you sit down and watch people. I'm like, shit. And I'm not lying. I just sit down and say, shit. That's one I could do. Same as left or right foot, head, brave. And I just sit and watch him like, his left foot was a wonder as well. And Robbie was one of the best, if not the best finisher I've seen. English finisher.
Would you be better than him though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, Michael Owen.
Yeah.
Right. Les Ferdinand.
Yeah, not Les, man, but yeah.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Shearer.
Opposites, but I'd take Al for what he was. Yeah.
Yeah. Al, you go Al.
Yeah, I'll go Al.
Let's go a bit international this era. Vieri.
Christian
Vieri,
mad player.
wicked player.
Yeah.
Mad player.
Mad.
Andy Cole better than him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. George Ware.
George was a bad man. I'm not getting involved in that one.
Sir George.
You know what I'm saying? George was a
Ballon d'Or.
bad man. I love watching him. I mean, Italian football every Sunday, bro. I remember when
Monaco.
George picked up the ball from the halfway line, AC Milan, and just cut through and scored that goal.
What are you saying though?
George Weah, bro.
Oh, okay.
Batistuta.
Yeah.
No one. But this is what I'm saying about this era.
This is crazy.
That era
Scary.
was nuts. Like you couldn't. There was no days off.
That's what I'm saying.
You play them games, and it's two up front. Like it was. That's what I mean, man. And we always compare eras, yeah. And that's why I look at Van Dijk. I'd love to see Van Dijk in our era. I think he would be able to adapt. Yeah. I just don't think he would make it look as easy as he does now.
Because you're playing against one man.
You're playing against two. Yeah, you're playing against one guy. He'd have two guys roughing him up every day. Coley weren't known to be like a guy, but Coley was strong. He'd be backing into you, elbows out, everything.
Twist.
Like
1-2.
this every week. It's like I think Virgil will still be one of the best ones around, 100%. But it wouldn't be looking as easy as it does now. It looks like he's got his slippers on with a cigar, just chilling.
It does, to be fair. It's crazy how the game's moved on, though, isn't it? You know, to look at an individual and it makes it look so comfortable. As I'm sitting there, I'm laughing to myself. Yeah, I'm sitting there saying to myself, well, can you imagine Van Dijk playing against Big Dunk in a Merseyside derby?
With Kevin Campbell.
Yeah. No.
It's mad.
Like, talk about that hairband. I'm not sure how long that hair's going to be in that position because...
There's definitely a cut on the eye.
There's something going on.
Scratches,
you know?
there's scratches down the neck.
There's something going on.
Crazy.
Like it's nuts.
Yeah.
Or Dion Dublin pulling off on the back post.
Yeah.
Not respecting no centre half.
Yeah. Back then it's totally different because you had more Mavericks when we were playing as well, you know. Going with the Madness.
Way
You
more.
make a
Way more.
Letizia.
Way more. You had strikers that had all sorts in their locker, bro. Everyone these days, it looks robotic.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know? But when you've got someone like Letizia, and I looked at some of his goals the other day, I'm like,
Joke.
yeah.
Joke.
He's flicking it over people's heads and that. Not just once, twice.
He didn't play like your
No.
typical English player.
No.
You know?
He's a maverick though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're not in the game no more as much. Before you go, I want to talk about, because you fell out of a few managers over your career. We can't leave it without talking
Yeah,
about
that was
them.
my younger gen coming out of it.
And we've seen players even now, even at Man United, Rashford fell out with Amorim, Cristiano Ronaldo before with Ten Hag, etc. When you look at those situations and you know your own experience, how does it get to that, and then how can you resolve it for it to be a better pathway going forward for yourself?
I don't know, because most of the time I fell out with somebody. Yeah, I was just a little bit pissed off with the individual. I mean, for the way I felt that they've treated me. I'm saying.
Like who? Which one? Like, give me a good example, just so I can relate it to the players of today. And this is about not talking about the players of today. It's more about trying to give them something to learn from.
Yeah, I think, but my first one was obviously when I was at Newcastle. I had a little fallout with Kevin. Like, we played a game on the Sunday against Southampton. Went up. We had a cup game in the week. I think we was training on the morning after, like, warm down. And I remember coming out. I mean, get my kit on, whatever, coming out. I remember saying, "Oh, morning, Cole, it's a morning." He said, "Do you fancy it this morning?" I just said, "No, to be funny, I'm a bit tired." I mean, I'm just being honest. If you ask me a question, I'm being honest with you. My parents always said, be honest. So yeah, I did that. And I remember Kevin said to me, if you don't fancy it, you can fuck off then.
Right.
So I went, yeah, okay, not a problem to me, you know. I turned round, went back in, got showered, packed my bags and left.
From training?
I left the hotel, bro.
Oh, wow.
I left the hotel, I just went. I went missing for about 3 days.
What are you doing for 3 days?
Wow.
What, was you in your house?
I mean, that's the time I was with my baby mother, innit? So yeah, so I just went around her for 3 days, just chilled.
Wow.
That's it.
Turn the phone off.
Yeah. I don't know that madness.
Turn the
But
Ericsson
when
off.
you
Ericsson.
look at it now, do you look and think, maybe I could have handled that in a different way? Or would you have
Yeah,
tried?
of course, 100%. But then on the flip side of that, yeah, if you ask me a question and I'm honest with you, if you give me that kind of response, I'm turning around and saying to myself, and my head was like, My dad don't talk to me like that. My mum don't talk to me like that. So how am I gonna make someone else talk to me like that? And that was when I'm younger, my mentality, no, because my parents speak to me in the right manner. Yeah, I'll get you my manager and that. You speak to me in the right manner. 'Cause I'm not being rude to you.
Yeah.
So that was back then, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course I'd handle it because I'm older.
Yeah, and at the same time as well, when you're resolving the matter, right, is there a, you know what, I was wrong for saying that, or was it not mentioned again?
It wasn't kind of like mentioned again, to be fair.
How was it difficult to perform on the pitch after that, or was you one of those quite black and white, it's done now, see you later?
I'll just get on with it.
No hangover.
Was back in the team Saturday, beat Wimbledon on the Saturday, scored.
Shut up.
That was for me back then. It's like, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm an individual. Yeah? If someone does me wrong, I hold it. I hold it. I know. Yeah, I'm telling myself, if you done me wrong, that's the wrong you meant to do me. So I will hold it because you should never have done me that wrong. I'm saying,
even if they apologise.
Even if they apologise, because why are you doing it wrong in the first place?
Nah, you gotta give people grace, though.
Bro, grace.
You gotta give people grace.
The heart's got to be softer than that, man.
Well, you know me better than that.
He looked at me like, grace, what's that?
Yeah, just to bring it to you look at Marcus Rashford's situation. You talked about being able to kind of get beyond it and go past it and then put that to the side and play. Do you see a situation where he started really well at or better than he was playing at Man United for Aston Villa now? Do you see a chance, because you know what it's like, leaving Man United's a big thing, man. Do you see there a possibility, a chance that he does well there and comes back to Man United and reconciles?
You never ever know in football. We don't know. So I mean, I try my best not even to do this speculation stuff anymore. When you've played it, when you play the game, you've been in the game, you understand it. I mean, and then it's tough when you're on the outside and you're talking about individual, because if you was in that position, how do you feel? And that's why I look at a lot of things now. I mean, when I was playing, Andy Cole's XYZ. Do you know me? So if you don't know me, but you're making all these assumptions about me, and of course it's hurtful. However you look at it, it's hurtful. You might turn and say, yeah, it doesn't bother me. But when you sit down at home and you're watching the TV or whatever, and it comes into your mind, I can't believe what my brother said. Of course it hurts. So with Marcus, you know, and I've said many times, hopefully they get to a position where whatever's happened can be resolved. I mean, if he stays and Marcus can get himself back to where he should be at, fantastic. If it doesn't work out that way and they move on in the summer, the breakup's amicable, you know, and they both go their separate ways and they both get on with things. I mean, and that's the way I view it. I look at him and you could tell that he wasn't enjoying his football. For all the talent he's got, he wasn't enjoying it. And people were saying, he's not all that. It's not for you to say if he's all that, he's not all that. You don't know what's going on in his personal life. Nobody knows. So when I hear things like that, it hurts to know that you can make an assumption about an individual. You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know he's having a good time, bad time, whatever it is, yeah? Shit happens.
Do you think when them situations happen, because there's a lot of players that have had stuff going, Jesse Lingard said he had stuff going on. Do you think we should encourage these young people to talk at the time when it's going on, if they can, or encourage them and just try and help them to kind of get it out so that it becomes more understandable for the public and the word get more grace at that time?
I think that's what we're supposed to do anyway, Ree. I think, you know, football is very, very tough at the best of times. Mentally it's tough, you know, and people, what, you're making all that money? And what? So does that make you happy because you're making a lot of money? Do you not have problems like everybody else? Do you not have roller coasters going on in your life like everybody else? Yeah, but if I was earning XYZ, so that take away all your problems because you're earning XYZ. Mentally, you got a problem at home, your mum's not well, your dad's not well, an individual might have passed away in your family. Does that not impact you in any way? Yeah, but he's making that money. What does the money equate to in the end? Money doesn't bring you happiness. I mean, it might give you a standard of living that you can get to, you can stay at. But when you have issues or you got problems going on in your life, what does that money do?
Do you think there needs to be more of that in the club? And if so, would you not be willing to be part of a situation like that in Man United? Because I know that you do the ambassadorship roles and stuff. And I'm not saying it's just easy, like, you should do it, but is that not something that you feel needs to be done?
I'd love to do it, because I've always said when I retired, I would love to sit down with like players or whatever and have a chat with them and see where their minds are and what they're trying to do. But you know what always be my biggest fear?
What's that?
Is meeting someone like me.
What do you mean?
Biggest fear. What I was like when I was younger. I'm like saying, how do I deal with it? You know what I'm saying? Because when I was younger, the way I used to go about things, people say, "Oh, you can't get through to him. He don't listen."
So you're scared of meeting a kid who's got a hard head?
Yeah. I'd be like, how do I deal with you? I mean, because that is me. When I was younger, that was me. And people say to me, I remember like when I was a young pro at Arsenal, like Whiting, like, they used to sit down and be like, I remember Paul Davis to this day sat me down and said, "Coley, what is wrong with you?" I said, what's wrong, Dave? He said, "Do you know how much talent you've got? But you're going to piss it away because you do this." I said, I do try, but sometimes someone will wind me up and I'll say, "Oh, fuck it. I've got to move different."
When does the penny drop for you? Like, is it an incident? Is it a moment? Is it a conversation? Like, was it maturity?
I think the penny dropped for me when I was at Arsenal. And
how old was you?
I was 19, so I was about 20, 21-ish. Yeah, I was there. And then I got sold to Bristol City. Yeah, and I went, okay, not a problem, ain't no problem. But all the noise that was coming out of Arsenal at that time was like, they don't believe he's going to be good enough to score goals at the highest level. They only believe he's going to get 10 goals a season. They only believe he'll be able to do this. So I said, okay, that's all I need. That's the fight I needed. I'm saying, and I will run with that, for the rest of my career, knowing that there's so many people there that doubted me. Yeah, didn't doubt me when I was there, but as soon as I left, all the noise comes out. I said, I'll run with that fire. And that was the fire that I took from getting sold from Arsenal to getting to where I got to. So when I retired, I turned around and said to myself, okay, I remember saying to you the other day, the fire's, it's outed a little bit, but
it's still there, yeah.
It's still there. I'm saying, because that's what I ran with. I mean, people like question me, like, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it.
That's what I love. I think I always loved that about you when I was playing as well. Like, there was a hardness to you that was built on like standards, morals from your upbringing that you carried with you everywhere. And I think I was a little bit in the same way, in that I would always hold on to that person said something that they would never remember. They said something negative, that was fuel. And I think it's an important point you're making here for young kids who are listening or watching this, is that negative words only impact you negatively if you allow it to. It's how you interpret that, and then how you use it to change your fortunes and change your mentality, your mindset, your consistency every day. Like, for Andy could have just gone, right, fuck it. He thinks I'm shit. Oh my God, I'm rubbish. Oh, Mum, Dad, this is how. And you get a lot of kids that do that. Let's go over there. They bounce everywhere until they're looking for the pat on the back.
Or blame everyone but themselves.
And he's mentioned slap on the back about 5 times already in this interview, because slaps on the back, they're good for a moment, but you don't want them all the time, because you get complacent. It becomes like you say, you want your belly to be half empty all the time. So you're hungry to keep doing stuff. And I think for the younger generation, it was really important that you do them negative moments come in your career, and they're gonna come.
Yeah.
But you got to utilize them.
The worry is though, you're talking about how Andrew's brave, but when I look at players like Zertsky, I worry a little bit, because I don't know enough about him, like you're saying, but it just seems that sometimes I don't know if there's just going to be enough with the reactions. Your reaction was more cool, get on with it. When I see, for example, missing a penalty, I'm just looking. I know he's distraught as a human being, but I worry about.
Yeah, man, missing a penalty is part and parcel of football, man.
But it's not just that. There's been quite a bit for him as well recently.
Yeah, but I look at that and I say to myself, fair play to him, because he's dusted himself down. He's got himself back in that position to whereby people are saying his name. Now, you only can get yourself back in that position if you're prepared to do something about it. Don't forget, a few months ago, he was getting booed off. And then a few months later, everyone's singing his name. So that tells me already he's got something. mean, he's prepared to go, okay, then I'll just knuckle down, get my head down, do what I believe is right, and I'll get there.
And I'll step up and take the pen.
And he's done that, you know, so I'll take my hat off to him straight away.
I think the United fans, though, will support him in that. Like, just, he had the balls to step up.
Yeah, 100.
He missed it, everyone's gutted, but
Yeah.
I think they would deep down go, and whether you think he's a good player or not, I think you can see that he's actually trying.
And there's something there.
Yeah, there's
on the
something
ball,
there,
he's
but-
good. Like, he's good on the ball. Like, he is.
Listen, man, we could talk all day long here. I know you got places to go, people to see. So, but you got to come back, man. I love having you on. Do you know what? I think if I was a owner of a club or director of football, these are the type of people I think you need to get in the club.
100.
Call them in and say to them, come in and speak to these younger kids. Get all the strikers in the room, sit down and listen to them. The detail that these guys know, the pictures they see are different. And only the people like him who've been there can tell these young kids what they're seeing.
Yeah, agreed. It's been a pleasure having you on, man.
Thank you for having me.
Really good. And yeah, man, I'm still.
You're gas, bro.
I'm in the zone, bro. Like, I'm usually good at this, but I want to say thank you very much for watching Rio Presents. Please make sure you stay tuned. There's more interviews coming out. You know, we spoke about the Courtois interview that you've just done. I'm seeing in the comments, everyone's asking, when is the Yaya Toure episode coming out? When is it coming out?
I swear it's coming out next month, isn't it? Next month is coming out, but this month Materazzi's coming out.
Materazzi's coming out.
Headbutt City.
Anyway,
Zidane's guy.
Wow.
No, he's cool. We see him a little while ago, so that'll be dropping soon.
Excellent stuff. Please keep on watching. There's the competitions that we're running. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Joel Bear, Rio Ferdinand, and the legend, Mr. Andrew Cole, signing out. Peace.
Yes, finalist.
You right? Cool.
Got the finalist here. ITV's finest.
I think for me, it was about listening to what the judges said that I didn't do in the first skate. They were buzzing with my individual skate and going like, when you skated by yourself, you're confident, you look like you enjoyed it.
The crowd on that.
But when you skated with a net in your first bit, you look like you was concentrating too much on it and not like involving the crowd and not going through it. So I just said in my head I was thinking, like, if I do that plus do my single skate, then I've got a chance. That's all I was thinking.
See what we just talking about?
That's all I was
Yeah,
That's all I was thinking.
Taking on negative information and using it.
That's all I was thinking. Was like, and if I do that and it still ain't good enough, then it is what it is. But if I've taken on what they've said and I execute it, then they have to put me through.
Can you win it or not?
Yeah, I can win it.
Do you reckon you're going to win it?
I'm going to give it a good go.
You're going to win it, man.
I'm going to give it a good go.
You need to win it.
Exactly.
I didn't think I'd get here. No chance. I did not think.
I'll be honest, I didn't.
I didn't think I'd get here.
After the first skate, I thought, well, my man's going home next week.
Seriously, I was because you roller skate before you got on skate.
It's mad.
It's different.
It's different.
Respect.
It's been good though.